7-6.
Welcome to the Happiness Jungle TV show. I'm your guest host, CamiBaker.com, and one of my dear friends is our guest today. JerryCaruso actually reached out to me on LinkedIn. So, high tech meets high touch. You can meet people through social media, but you have to be willing to talk to them. So Jerry reaches out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, I'm with Comics for a Cure. You do some of this purpose-driven marketing stuff. We should talk. And we sat at Panera's and been best buddies ever since.
Days. It was days.
It was days.
They were looking for me. No. Yeah, that's true. We just 2.5 hours or whatever it was. It just flew right by.
So how often do you do that? You get on LinkedIn and just stalk people and reach out to them like that?
I do it legally. No. If I see someone, like there was a woman tied into veteran suicide, fighting veteran suicides, I friended her and see if, like they're national, but see if they did anything locally or see if they wanted to tie in and do something. So I'll just try to look that way. So it's not always. You're one of the lucky ones. I was one of the lucky ones. Oh. No, because, but it's true, because like, you know, who's going to take that gamble and say like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll meet you, you know, but you mean in a public place and daylight and stuff like that.
Well, and now that we've met, I've learned so much about who you are and what you do, and I just wanted to share you with our audience. So,
that's nice.
So talk about how you got started with, well, Comics for a Cure or whatever you want to talk about.
It originally started from just getting started in comedy and just doing my thing back in 1993. So many shows later, probably in 1994, probably a little over a year later, my friend, I did a show for Benefit for AIDS Research. We did good, and he was impressed, and he goes, hey, why don't we get together? We should do something further with this. I go, like what? He goes, well, let's talk. Came over to my house, coffee, breakfast, made it. I'm domesticated. And he goes, we should do more of these. You go, comedy can tie into any kind of event you want to do, because people can do so much of music and DJs and dances and stuff like that. Comedy is so different, you know. And he says, "How do we do it?" I go, "Oh, no, an hour and a half for a show, if not more. Tie in raffles, tie in 50-50. You know, incorporate music if you want to, food if you want to, snacks, and it's a win-win." He goes, "What would we call it?" I go, "He goes, Comics for something." I go, "For a Cure." I just roll off my tongue. Ever since then, we've been doing shows. I can't tell you how many. You know, everybody goes, what's it average? I go, oh, it could be anything between 1 and 4 times a month that we do it. And as I'm driving here, I got a text to do something for some woman's having a hard time and paying bills, and she thinks she can fill a room full of 200 people, but that's what she says. And I was like, okay. And I want to help her out. And she's an old friend from way back. She came to one of my shows because she remembered me from years ago. And it's like, oh, it's me, Brenda. I go, oh, hi. And I was like, I'm going to meet so many people. And I'm willing to help her out and trying to give her tips on how to do it. And, you know, she's ready to go after big halls. Like, just tell them you got no money, but you're going to make them money from the bar. Or if they have food, same deal. They're going to make out like bandits. She goes, really? And so I use that formula to pass on to different people. So ever since 1994, we've been going strong, Comics for a Cure, anywhere pretty much. Mostly, you know, some in Maine, a few in New Hampshire, a lot in Mass, dotted a few in Rhode Island, but it's like we're willing to go anywhere just to help people out. And
where's the furthest you've gone?
Furthest I've gone had to have been the middle of Maine. Could have been Augusta. Could have been anywhere.
I was thinking
there.
Vegas or something.
No Vegas, yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Vegas, I wish. But you know, like we went into Rhode Island a couple of times, and you know, they enjoyed it. I mean, there's so many comedy groups out there, so there's like people look at things and they see, you know, I won't name names, but they'll see names and go, oh, that sounds like the right one, but they have to disseminate the difference between the 3 of us or 4 of us that do it, and whether it's price-wise, talent-wise, organizational-wise, because there's some that do it that do minimal amount. They'll say, we'll give you a place, we'll get you the comics, and you do the rest.
Well, so give us maybe three things people should be looking for when they're wanting to hire your group or a group like yours.
A good cause, and if they know they're going to have a good draw, because some people will pull things out of the air and say, I'm thinking of doing this, and it's a rare kind of cause, and you get a minimal amount of people. So you have to have, a good cause, that's, you hate to say sellable, but it has to be sellable and people have to know it, There's the American Cancer Society, which is pretty viable, American Heart Association, so forth and so on. But if I go to people with different causes, like someone had surgery, or someone's fighting cancer, or someone fighting MS, someone's having some kind of surgery to do with diabetes or whatever, then we'll do it. Those localized causes are great because, as you know, you focus on family and friends, and it can go further. But so I try to guide them. So another thing they need is like, if they have a location to work out of. Someone can easily say, well, I want to do something in Nashua. It's like, okay, where do you want to do it? What night do you want to do it? And you always have to look out for if some people already do regular comedy shows out of the area. Like Manchester's tough because there's a prominent group up there. Nashua can be tough because there's a girl that does shows out of there too. So you don't want to step on toes, but you don't want to be in competition. Because if someone's established, they'll go to that comedy show.
Well, I would think you would have a whole list of venues by now of places that are willing to open their place up for.
Yeah. But I try to see what they have, because there's always someone that says, oh, I know this guy that owns this restaurant. He'll give it to me. He has a great function room and so forth and so on. Or my buddy owns a bar, and he says, anytime, any place, we can seat 125. So I try to see if they have a location too, because yes, I can try to find it, but I can't guarantee anything. Whereas if they know somebody in their local, they'll look at me like, where are you from again? Gardner, Mass. What? Where are you from again?
And the name of the place that has your TV show is?
Oh, Athol? Yeah. Everybody chuckles at that.
Yeah,
Stop.
it is.
It's true.
So, so what makes your group different than the others?
We try to offer as much help as possible. Like everybody who's on the show will try to promote it via Facebook. And I know Facebook is just another tool to use to promote things with. So that's a good one. But I won't help with design. I'll give them a basic design. Like I'll put the comics, headshots and a little blurb about them, instead of them going through paragraphs and saying like, what do I use? And they use the wrong thing. I use the right things. I give them advice on where to go, different ways how to sell tickets, because, I get involved so much without trying to throw myself to the mercy of the wolves, but I do anyway.
Well, we've even talked about, bringing some purpose-driven marketing into it, getting
absolutely.
Businesses involved.
Absolutely.
So, when this woman that you're talking about that's having a hard time, to introduce me to some big businesses in that area, those businesses can help promote the event to help her, but it also helps their business. To let the community see them as a contribution.
It's so important because, businesses can stand out. Like you say, pillars of the community, however you want to put it. They stand out and say like, oh, look at, we help this, or, we believe in fighting cancer, or we believe in fighting MS, or we have people that deal with it, or we know of people. So it's really a good thing. It's a great idea, and that's why I'm glad I connected with you, because you have a lot of ideas, whereas I have the basics. I'll tell them what to do. I'll say, you can approach businesses. I go, you can approach companies and say like, do you want to be a corporate sponsor? Well, all we have in our budget is X amount of dollars. Well, with that X amount of dollars can pay for this. Or I always tell them, don't go in blind, but tell whatever place you're going to, look, I'll bring you business, but I can't afford to pay a fee to rent. And be like, well, what am I going to get out of it? Exposure, look good in the community, introduce new people to your establishment. People never ate there, and it's all supporting a good cause. It's a win-win-win.
You and I've talked about just there's so many different reasons that customers, consumers, clients are wanting to work with companies that are on purpose. So if there's 3 realtors up for a listing, or 3 financial advisors up for life insurance, or 3 insurance companies, all things being equal, 85% of consumers will choose the one that they know is doing something good. And the way that they can know that you're doing something good is that you have Comics for a Cure, and you have a flyer, and you're out letting people know, and you're reaching out to your email list, and there's all kinds of strategies to make sure that people know that you're doing the right thing. Not from and I always have to say, not from, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing, but from a, hey, look what we can do together.
Right.
And while you're saying, hey, look what we can do together, they're also seeing that you're doing a good thing, and 85% of them are going to choose you over the other realtor.
And it's always good to have a place that has food and beverage. Listen to me. But you know, because people, it's a night out, and you make it kind of affordable. See, I always look at the demographics, because I know in my town, if I sold tickets, it shouldn't be more than $15 a ticket. But there's the next town over, I could do 25 easily, because the per capita, it's so different. What they make with, the standards of living that they go by are so different. And you go to the next town, it would drop down, but you go to the next town ahead of that, it'd be more again.
Well, and also it depends on the cause.
Right.
Like, what is it for?
Sure.
Because if it's for something they've never heard of or somebody they've never heard of, that's one thing. But when it's a local child that just got cancer, or a cop that got shot or something, like that's so different. So you were just sharing with me before the show started about an event you just did.
Yeah, we just did an event in Fitchburg, Massachusetts called Operation Stomp Out Veteran Suicide. And this guy, Bill McMahon, drove it with Terry Locker, and they both worked together at a car dealership. And they drove it, they got donations, they got, financial donations as well. And they sold tickets that night, they did raffles, and they're tied in with a group called Mission 22, where they try to prevent veterans from committing suicide, offer them services, look at the telltale signs, and try to do that. And at the end of the night, we were near $19,000 that we raised. That's a lot of money. And that's with just two guys running around asking people for things. And, imagine if there was a connection through someone like you, you can guide them bigger and better, because, they were hoping to do close to 20,000. Hey, they reached their goal pretty much.
Yeah.
It was like 18 and change, like 18.6 or something like that, which is pretty good. And he goes, I wish I could have done better. I go, what, are you kidding me? I go, that's phenomenal.
If one life gets saved, it was worth it.
And I think it turns out with the fees or how much you have to spend, it could have been 3. I think it was, because they thought they had only 12,000, and then they counted everything afterwards, or they tabulated everything, and it was like I said, 18.6. So I think that could equate to like maybe 3, and it's like, and there's more groups that see that, and they turn around and say like, wow, I could do the same thing, and hopefully they can. But you have connections with many different businesses and companies, entrepreneurs and people that want to do stuff, and sometimes they don't know how to do it.
That's so true. And even when I'm working with somebody, we talk about going out and looking for help. So, for example, I had an event in Nashua, and a TV show. We were having a celebration of the guests that we'd had on the show last year. And we wanted it to be in Nashua, had to be in this town, because we wanted to keep business here. So we put out to social media that we needed a place that would hold about 75 people to do this guest appreciation, and we said that we were going to give, not proceeds, we weren't taking up money, but we were going to take up donations for Bridges of Nashua, which is a domestic violence.
Wow.
So a friend of mine introduces me to a guy, Felix, who owns an Italian restaurant here in town. Long story short, I go meet with him. He gives us the space for free. He gives us the food, he feeds everybody for free, and he reaches out to all of his vendors, and he gets cases of toilet paper and paper towels and things donated to the domestic violence place. And the best part is, Jerry, on my way out, somebody I just met, did all for just money out of pocket, gave me a hug and said, thank you for giving me the opportunity to help. Because there's so many people that want to do something, but they don't know what to do.
Right.
And when so I'll share with my clients and say, listen, when you go and you actually give people the opportunity to be a contribution, you're not begging them for help, you're giving them help.
Right.
You're helping them.
Oh my God, that's so true.
It's such a shift of mindset. So, when you guys come in and do your comedy, there's just so many different people that are benefited.
Yep, that's true. And they looked at it like it was so hard because they made it, I would have told them to plan the logistics differently, but it still worked. Comedy was early. It was like doors open at 5 and comedy was at 5:30.
Wow, that's early, isn't it?
Yeah, that is early. And then they had speeches at 7 o'clock till 7:15. And then music came on for almost an hour and a half or so. It was all good, but the problem is, I always say, like when they started with comedy, people coming in, they were conversing. People hadn't seen anybody in a while. They were old friends that graduated with him and with Bill, and they're all talking. So when we're trying to do the show, people are talking, and I'm not getting mad at them because I know that's what you get. But if you had it like an hour for people to congregate, it's totally different. Then they do it and they go, okay, by the way, we're gonna have a show, and in such and such a time. It'll be shortly, and in a half hour you give them the warning, and then they're all ready for it. Don't get me wrong, it still worked, but if you gave them time to chit-chat, then people have a few in them. You hate to say it, but it's true. And they have a few in them, and they give more because they're having a good time. They haven't seen friends in a long time.
The funnier you are,
The drunker they are, the funnier I am. But anyway.
the better I look, the whole thing.
Yeah, better I look.
The more you drink, the better I look.
Oh God! But it's so and the formula works. I mean, but it still worked what he did. But unfortunately, it's still light out, and people have a mindset like, oh, let me talk to my friend. I haven't seen it in a while, and they're all going to talk to them. Oh my God, it's you! And it's like, hey, I'm up here. But the bulk of the people paid attention. But if you planned it right, which I'm not saying that he didn't, he did a phenomenal job for someone who's never done it before. You had tons of raffles. They had Mission 22 there selling T-shirts and sweatshirts and hats. And
Do you have a website where all of your shows are actually on?
maybe so. Oh,
Maybe
you want
so.
it? Yes. www.Jerry with a J, G, Caruso, comic. .webs.com.
Lord.
I had to have a long name because there's a lot of Jerry Carusos out there. More
Really?
than I thought.
None like you.
But I don't know about that. I have to check it out.
So are all of your shows on there?
Yeah, they should be on there. Like my calendar goes into next year, but I just try to do up to this year.
Well, I need to know what it is because I should have been at that event.
Which one? I know. Again, I'm so busy. It's like I have to coordinate and say, like, let me tell Cami. Let me give her a heads up. Let me give her the name of the person. And that's all I have to do. But it's like I had a show earlier today. I had a show now. I'm going to do voiceovers for a radio station tomorrow night. That just came up because it just happened. Friday I'm in Boston. Ed Margiano's doing comedy. They let me do comedy there. Me and another guy, Bob Sheehy, your ex-husband there, whatever. Was he? Whatever.
He was my husband. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Speaking of which, talk about the murder mystery.
Murder mystery is a lot of fun. Murder mystery is another thing that people could use as a fundraiser too. Keith and Margot Morrison, yeah, they can. Yep. Or are you just hungry? Because I said my.
Actually, the last one I did with you was a fundraiser.
Yes, it was. And they, I think because Margiano's is so busy, they pushed it X amount. They could have done more. I mean, people were happy leaving there. They had a grand old time, and they raised money, and I guess.
I knew it was me.
Yeah, that's right.
I knew it was me.
Damn it, those people. But I mean, it can be used as a vehicle to raise money, or as a team builder, or as entertainment for employees, employee appreciation. So I've been doing it since '01, and I'm the cop, as you know. And it's fun, and people have fun. We don't go out to hurt anybody physically. Mentally, we do. We play games. But it's just a lot of fun, and people try to solve it, and they have a good time. They're eating, they're drinking. It's like, it's a win-win. And they make it a whole night, because Margiano's is smart. You check in at 6. You have cocktails till 7, and then you have dinner at 7 o'clock, and then the show starts in between. But as you know, the show can go 2 hours, depending on how playful the audience is. So it's a night. If you got there at 6, you'll probably be out of there by 9:30, 10. So there's your night.
Now, is that on your website too?
Should be, yes.
Yeah.
What that, meaning the shows that I'm doing, or?
Well, the murder mystery. So anybody that's watching, if they want to see when a murder mystery is coming up, where would they go look?
That's, they can go on their website, but www.murdermystery.com.
Oh, murdermystery.com.
But mine has all the shows that I'm doing. I think I got 2 in September, 2 in October.
2 murder mysteries?
Yeah.
Huh.
No
wonder you run out of new blood a lot.
Yeah. Explain that to the people, please. Stage blood, folks. Yeah. Because.
So anybody that wants to be an actress or actor or actor.
Yeah, is it actor? For a girl, it's an actor too?
Well, you're still acting, so you're an actor no matter what.
Yeah,
so
no matter what.
That's the politically correct.
Even an actress? So do I have to call you an actress?
You have to call me they.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
You have to be politically correct.
But that's fun too, because people could use that as a fundraiser too, like of a company.
I never would have thought of that, and I was just thinking one.
Sometimes I don't think of that, but it really does, and it can work, and they would work with you on rates. I can't quote what they do, and you saw how our shows go. It's all pure acting.
And you could bring people to someplace in Nashua to do a murder mystery.
Definitely. You know, they're national. They're all over the place.
The scripts are crazy.
They're crazy, but they're fun.
Yeah,
They're fun.
really creative to come up with those scripts.
God, you know, all you have to do is just, as long as there's a motive and there's so many people involved and it's kind of sort of solvable, but, you know, unfortunately when people see me out there, I throw them curveballs to get them away from trying to solve it. I force them to pay attention, but sometimes they don't. They're having too good a time. Whether it's you saying something funny or me or anybody else as an actor or actress or actor. As you said, you're right.
Like realtor.
Yeah, like realtor. That's right. Oh, I forgot about that. There's a lot of wars out there. I mean, it's so much fun, and it's an easy way to do it too. You know, so there's ways to raise money, and you know, going through you is a big thing. It's a big win-win, especially for corporations looking on how they can do it, because a lot of them don't think it. Like if I make a cold call and say, "Hey, would you like to raise money for a cause?" Who are you again? You know, it's like, whereas you have the book, you have the experience, and you just lay out things for them, or you say, "Let me meet with you," and then it's magic.
Well, and I hope people understand there's a big difference in sponsorship and collaboration too. You know, it's one thing to pay $500 for the comics and then show up in 2 months and your logo's on the banner and your name gets said. For me, it's about teaching them how to collaborate.
Right.
How to literally take that flyer for the comedy show and walk into 500 different businesses.
Yep, that's all it takes.
Or walk into 20 different networking events and be seen in a different way, have a new conversation to have.
And you know what happens too? Like, nobody doesn't like a comedy show. And also, if depending on who I book, they have credits. And you know how people do things. Like if I say, I got Bob Shee, he was in Celtic Pride. I think I saw that movie. You know, people always want to relate. I think I saw him in it. And 9 chances out of 10, they may not have. But in their minds, they're like, oh my God, like I'm supposed to be casting a movie about mobsters. It's like a mobster comedy. Go figure. They want to get an Italian for that. I couldn't believe that one. That's a new one. But it's supposed to start like at the end of the month, beginning of next month. But, you know, people, so if I tell people, oh, I was in this mobster comedy. Oh my God, I think I saw that. You know, they want to relate to you. Or if you go somewhere, Cami Baker, yeah, I wrote this book, Mingle to Millions. Good plug, huh? And they say, oh, I got to meet her. Oh my God, I think I read that. Oh, I got to read that book, you know. And it's like, so people want to relate to who they perceive as celebrities. Like if you go up to Maine, you'd be a celebrity. They'd be like, oh my God, who's this? Who's this?
Really? I need to go to Maine.
Because if you think about it, Maine, like if you go past Portland, it's all like rustic towns. That pretty much is.
The only problem is, though, you can't say, hey, Maine people, Cami Baker is going to be at the murder mystery, because then they'll know that I'm the actor.
No, you don't have to say that. But I mean, but I'm saying if you, like toward the end, when I bring out the actors and the actresses and I say like, this is blah, 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 this is her.
Yeah.
And I say about you, they'll be like, oh my God, I thought I recognized you. Because people want to associate with some sort of celebrity. Like it's their, like someone says, like, just because I say I worked with Larry the Cable Guy, I know Larry the Cable Guy. Of course they do. I doubt they know them personally, but they know them. And they say, oh, I got to talk to him. I got to ask him questions about him. Or if you were with someone that's big within New England, they go, oh my God, you were with that football player, or you were with that person that runs Reebok, or something like that. And then people want to associate with you. So it's always a good thing.
Power of association. You're only as good as the company you keep.
That's right.
That's what Mom always said.
Yep.
So what's new for Jerry? What's next on your radar? What are you creating next?
Like I said, I may be I'm supposed to cast in a movie. I'm going to be swimming in my old pool of blood. That's kind of a nice thought.
Oh.
Well, it's an Italian way, but that's the thing. But I mean, they said
you're giving away the plot. You're swimming in your own blood. That means
I could be in a blood bank. I don't know. But that wasn't a big catch and get me. But it's like, it's supposed to be a mobster comedy. That's one thing. Also, and I think, did you meet Dick and Adam? I don't think you met them. I'll introduce them. They're hot tickets. They have their hands in everything. They did a movie called Randy's Canvas, which is about someone dealing with autism trying to lead a normal life. And it's an independent film, and he got nominated for Best Actor, and he did a great job. So we're taking that film and bringing it to Leominster, Massachusetts, because a woman runs the Leominster Autism Project, and she has an autistic child, and she tries to help families deal with that, and to try to raise money. And so we're bringing that film. So it's me, Adam, and Dick's idea, and Stephanie Madrigal to take that movie, show it, charge people like a minimal fee. Money goes to Autism Project. We have a red carpet, so when they get out of the car, we get out of the car. It's big time, spotlights and everything, and then show the movie, and then I interview them live on stage. So
Does the actor actually have autism?
no, but I guess he worked with autistic people, and he tried to study them and see.
Oh, yeah.
And so he did a great job, and he's only a kid. I say kids because, look,
Everybody's-
look, a
everybody's
kid
a
to
kid.
me is, yeah, if someone's 59, I go, oh my God, you're so young, but you know. But I mean, so he did a great job. So when we do that, it'd be like almost like a Hollywood premiere without the fake Hollywood premiere. It's like more like real, and people would be like, oh my God, I met this guy Dick LeBeau and Adam Carbone, and probably never heard of him before, but because they saw the movie and he was in it, and that guy produced it and directed it. Oh my God, I gotta meet them. So,
Red carpet affair.
yep. You're invited, and I hope I wonder if I could build you in somehow. Well,
Well, I can always do a book signing and donate the money. I do that. I do that a lot just for a fun reason
That's
to
interesting.
show it with my banner.
Oh, that's interesting. So that's my next big project, and the continuation of comedy and murder mystery and motivational speaking wherever I can. I had to do a kids' library the other day. It wasn't a blast, but they didn't tell me all kids were going to be there. I said, I do adult show. And they go, you mingle with the kids. And I just kind of like integrated with them.
So people can reach out to you for all of those, including your speaking. And I know you speak on humor is the best medicine, right?
Laughter's the best medicine. Yep.
Yeah.
I do that, yeah. It's fun. It's
Nice.
fun. But it turns out like you're telling them the facts, but they're waiting for the jokes because I integrate jokes like clean family humor. Do a lot of civic groups and stuff like that. 24. Wow, we're getting down there.
Yeah. Well, we've come to the end, Jerry.
Darn.
Another project
Darn,
under our
you-
belt. You and I.
You and I.
You and I. I've been on your show. You've been on my show.
That's
We've
right.
done the murder mystery.
Yeah.
We're doing all kinds of fun
Yep.
stuff.
It is.
It's a good life.
It's real good life.
It's a good life. And it is the happiness jungle. It's a jungle out there, but you can be happy. And when you know people like JerryCaruso, you can laugh it out.
And Cami Baker.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Bye.